If you're somebody who is selling AI offers or is looking to start selling AI offers, I want to walk you through how to destroy your competitors with this one focus framework. How do you know what to focus on? How many things you should focus on? How to identify everything that needs to be done in the business and how to focus on it so that way you can scale your business faster than everyone else. Okay? And the first thing we have to do is define focus. What is focus? It's very simple. It's basically the center of interest or activity. You're only doing one thing. There's one thing within your interest and you're not, your attention isn't spread across, multiple different things. And so why is it important? It's because you can do more volume and you have better resource allocation if you know what are the right things to focus on. Okay? And basically you grow faster if you're focusing on the right things and you're focusing more than others. And so what are the two cardinal sins of focus? The first cardinal sin is you're focusing on too many things. And Naval said the true scarcity is attention, not time. Even if you're somebody who's working a job or you feel like you have a lot of obligations, if you really analyze your time and break down what you're doing within a day, you probably have more time than you realize, but you're not putting the attention where it needs to be to move the needle forward. And so when your attention is split between many different things, it's very difficult to excel in any of them. If you want to beat your competitors, you're not going to do it by starting more businesses than them, but by doing one thing better than them. So when you start like 8 different businesses, you only have limited resources and limited energy to allocate to every single thing you're doing. Okay? And when you're doing that, then this is what it looks like. Opposed to, when you're focusing and mastering one thing, that's how you create outsized returns. And so when you're focusing on 8 different things with limited energy and you don't have, a bunch of employees, helping you build your businesses, then it's very difficult for you to make any of them exceed and, grow any of them. Opposed to if you're just focused on one singular thing and you're obsessed with doing it better than everyone else, then it becomes much easier for you to grow that thing into something that would have made a lot of more money than all these other things combined. Okay? And so this is why focus is extremely important, and you probably have more time than you realize, but you're just not allocating your attention and your energy towards the right thing that's going to move the needle forward. And so that's the first cardinal sin, is focusing on too many things. Now the second cardinal sin is focusing on the wrong thing. And so what is the right thing to focus on? Well, I want to walk you through the triple I framework. The first I is identify your goals. Okay? What is the goal you're trying to achieve? Because if you haven't identified what is the goal you're trying to achieve, then how do you know what are the right inputs to achieve the goal when you don't even have clarity on what the goal is? And so that's the first I, identify goal. The second goal, or the second part of the framework is identify inputs. What are the inputs needed to achieve that goal? So many people fix a goal, but they don't even know what are the inputs needed to achieve that goal. The way you grow a business or achieve any goal is you first identify the goal, and then you reverse engineer that goal into identifying the inputs needed to achieve that goal. Okay, and so that's the second I, which is identify input. And the third I is identify the constraint. What is the thing stopping you? What is the constraint that's stopping you from achieving that goal? And I'm about to walk you through exactly how to identify the constraint. It's a very simple framework: identify goal, identify inputs, identify constraint. These are the 3 I's they need to implement for, identifying any goal and then reverse engineering it so that way you know the inputs needed. You can obsess on the inputs, don't obsess on the outcome. And so you can obsess on the inputs to achieve that goal. And so I'm going to walk you through an example of the triple I framework. The first one is identify goals. So let's say our goal for now is 30K revenue. That's step 1. Second is identify inputs. So reverse engineering your goals is the most powerful way you can get clarity on the inputs needed to achieve them. And here's how it works. So let's say if our goal is 30K revenue and we're selling something for 10K. To get to 30K revenue, how many closes do we need to reach this goal? Well, if we're selling something for 10K, 10K times 3, that's 3 deals closed. And let's say we have a 20% close rate. Okay, that means we need 15 show-ups in order to close 3 deals. And let's say our show-up rate is 40%. That means we need to book 38 calls to get 15 show-ups, and we keep on reverse engineering it. So let's say our lead to booking ratio is 10%. So for every lead that opts in, 10% of them book a call. That means we need 380 leads in order to book 38 calls. And let's say our conversion rate is 25%. So if we're driving people to some sort of funnel or some sort of visiting page, let's say for every 15-20 visitors we get, 25% of them convert. That means we need 15-20 visitors in order to get 380 leads. Let's say we're posting content, and let's say for every 4% of people that watch the content, they take you up on the call to action and they visit your funnel. That means we need 38,000 eyeballs in order to get 15-20 visitors. Okay, and that's basically how you do it. You first identify the goal and you reverse engineer all the inputs needed And then now you need to find the constraint, so you can obsess over that constraint to make this goal happen. Okay, the goal of 30K in this instance. And so how do we identify the constraint? Well, first let's take a look at our sales process. And so far, lead to booking ratio is 10%. That gives us 38 people out of the 380 that opted in. If our show up rate is 40%, then that gives us 15 people who show up to the calls compared to the 38 that booked the call. And if our conversion rate is 20%, that gives us 3 closed deals out of the 15 that we booked, out of the 15 calls that we booked. And that's what allows us to collect 30K revenue. And so if you could improve each step by 10%, which one would grow the business the most? And this is how we're going to identify the constraint. And so let's say first we added 10% to the lead to booking ratio. So let's say we moved our lead to booking ratio. If we improved it by 10%, so now it's 20%, that would give us 76 booked calls. That would give us 30 show ups if we kept everything else the same, and that would give us 6 closed deals, which would give us a 60K collected revenue. Okay, so that's the result if we improve the lead to booking ratio by 10%. Now, if we improve the show up rate by 10%, so we have the same amount of leads that book calls, and now we have 19 people that showed up on the calls. That gives us 4 closed deals. That gives us 40K in collected revenue. Okay, and now let's improve the conversion rate by 10%. So we get the same amount of leads that book calls, we get the same amount of show-ups, but if we just improve the amount of people we close, that gives us 50K in collected revenue. Okay, and so which one is the constraint? Well, it's the lead to booking ratio, because if we add a 10% increase to each step, the business grows the most when the lead to booking ratio is improved. And so right now, if you're in this situation, the only thing you should be doing is all your focus should be on executing the inputs to deconstrain the business. Anything else is a waste of time. And that's how you run a business, that's how you grow a business, is by identifying what is a constraint and allocating all your resources to deconstraining the business, so that way it can grow. So that way you remove the bottleneck. Okay, and this is the exact framework that you can do to identify your goals, identify the inputs needed, and identify the constraints. And this is how you beat your competitors, by having more clarity and focusing on one thing at a time, the one thing that's going to grow the business, not 10 other things. Okay, you need to focus on one thing and grow that and scale it by implementing all your focus and energy into that one thing. You need to allocate all your resources, including your time and energy, correctly. And so if you got any value from this video, first link in the description is our free AI Scaling Specialist School community. We have hundreds of entrepreneurs in there who are all looking to sell AI offers and build AI businesses in this massive trend, this massive revolution that's currently happening, the AI revolution. And so if you want a piece of the $15 trillion that's going to be added to the global economy, go ahead and join that community. First link in the description, completely for free, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye.